Your urine color means absolutely nothing about your hydration status. We'll expose the hydration myths keeping you confused, reveal what actually determines if you're dehydrated, discover why athletes have been getting it wrong for decades. Right now, pinch the skin on the back of your hand and let go. We'll circle back to what this actually tells you about your body's water levels. Nobody knows where the 8 glasses of water a day rule came from, because it was never based on science. The closest thing researchers can find is a 1945 recommendation from the Food and Nutrition Board suggesting 2.5 liters of fluid daily. But here's the crucial part. They specifically mention that most of this fluid comes from food, not pure water. Somehow over the decades, marketers and wellness gurus conveniently forgot that detail and twisted this into a water-only mandate that's haunted us ever since. This myth became so entrenched that it spawned an entire industry of water bottles, hydration apps, and expensive alkaline water systems. The bottled water industry alone generates over $300 billion annually, much of it built on the foundation of this scientifically baseless rule. Your actual fluid needs depend on your body size, activity level, climate, overall health status, and even your genetic makeup. A 120-pound sedentary office worker in Minnesota has completely different needs than a 200-pound construction worker in Arizona. It's personalized hydration, not one-size-fits-all marketing. What if I told you your kidneys are basically biological water recycling plants that adjust your hydration automatically, operating with precision that would make German engineers jealous? Every single day, these incredible organs filter approximately 120 liters of blood. That's roughly 32 gallons, and make thousands of micro-decisions about precisely how much water to keep versus eliminate. When you're well hydrated, they produce more dilute urine and allow excess water to leave your system. When you need to conserve water, they concentrate that urine like a master distiller and hold on to every precious drop. This sophisticated system involves complex hormonal signals, including antidiuretic hormone from your brain and aldosterone from your adrenal glands, working together in perfect harmony. The nephrons in your kidneys can concentrate urine up to 4 times more than your blood plasma when necessary. This incredible biological machinery means that forcing extra water into your system rarely helps, unless you genuinely dehydrated from illness, extreme exercise, or environmental stress. Trust your kidneys. They're infinitely smarter than any hydration app or wellness guru, and they've been perfecting this process for millions of years of human evolution. Picture your body as the most sophisticated smartphone ever created, except instead of a battery indicator, it has an incredibly precise hydration monitoring system that puts any wearable device to shame. When your blood becomes just 2% more concentrated, we're talking about incredibly small changes. Here, specialized osmoreceptors in your hypothalamus immediately detect this shift and trigger a cascade of responses. First, they generate the sensation of thirst, sending urgent signals to your conscious mind to seek fluids. Simultaneously, they release antidiuretic hormone to help your kidneys conserve water more aggressively. This system evolved over millions of years of human survival in challenging environments, and it works remarkably well for the vast majority of healthy adults. The problem isn't that your thirst mechanism is broken or unreliable. The real issue is that we've been systematically taught to override these finely tuned biological signals with arbitrary drinking schedules created by marketing departments. We've become so disconnected from our body, its natural wisdom, that we trust water bottles with time markers more than the sophisticated biological computer between our ears. Listen to your body's signals instead of following generic rules designed to sell products, and you'll discover that your internal hydration system is far more reliable than you've been led to believe. I used to buy into the Gatorade hype completely, chugging brightly colored sugar water after every gym session like it was some kind of performance elixir, until I learned that most exercise sessions don't require anything beyond plain water, and the science behind sports. Drink marketing is shakier than you'd expect. Sports drinks were originally formulated in 1965 for University of Florida football players, the Gators exercising intensely for hours in brutal heat and humidity. These were elite athletes losing massive amounts of fluid and electrolytes through sweat during grueling practices in 90-degree weather, But somehow, this very specific application got twisted into a marketing message that everyone needs electrolyte replacement for any physical activity. The reality is that for your typical 45-minute gym session, morning jog, or weekend bike ride, those added sugars and electrolytes are unnecessary calories masquerading as performance enhancers. Research published in the Journal of Sports Medicine shows that water maintains performance just as effectively as sports drinks for activities lasting less than 60 to 90 minutes. Most commercial sports drinks contain 6 to 8% sugar, that's roughly 6 teaspoons per bottle, plus artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives that your body simply doesn't need for moderate exercise. Save your money, skip the sugar crash, and stick with water for most workouts. Stop obsessing over crystal clear urine. It might actually mean you re-drinking too much water and creating problems where none existed before. While very dark yellow urine that looks like apple juice can indicate dehydration, completely colorless urine often signals overhydration, which can actually be more dangerous than mild dehydration. This obsession with clear urine has created a generation of people forcing down water they don't need, disrupting their body's natural balance in pursuit of an arbitrary visual goal. Recent research published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology shows that urine color has only moderate correlation with actual hydration status, and it's heavily influenced by factors that have nothing to do with your water intake. Vitamins from supplements or fortified foods can turn your urine bright yellow, even when you're perfectly hydrated. Certain medications, including some antibiotics and laxatives, affect urine color. Even foods like beets, carrots, and blackberries can change urine color temporarily. The sweet spot for most people is pale yellow. Think diluted lemonade, not water. This indicates optimal hydration without the risks that come with forcing excessive fluid intake. Anything clearer suggests you probably overdoing it and potentially diluting important electrolytes your body needs to function properly. Can you actually drink too much water and harm yourself in the process? Absolutely, and it's becoming more common than most people realize, especially among well-intentioned health enthusiasts who think more water automatically equals better health. Overhydration dilutes your blood sodium levels. It's causing a potentially life-threatening condition called hyponatremia. Essentially, your cells begin swelling from the electrolyte imbalance, and your brain has nowhere to expand inside your skull. The symptoms start subtly with headache, nausea, and confusion, but can rapidly progress to seizures, coma, and even death in severe cases. Marathon runners are particularly vulnerable, with studies showing that up to 13% of marathon finishers develop some degree of hyponatremia from drinking too much water during the race. But it's not just athletes. There are documented cases of people developing water intoxication from following extreme hydration challenges on social media. Drinking gallon after gallon in pursuit of clearer skin or better health? Your kidneys can process about 0.8 to 1 liter of water per hour under normal conditions. So drinking more than this overwhelms their ability to maintain balance. The goal isn't maximum water intake or some arbitrary daily target. It's optimal balance that supports your body's complex physiological processes. Your body craves equilibrium, not excess, and sometimes less really is more when it comes to hydration. Surprisingly, your location affects hydration needs less than you'd expect. While hot, humid climates increase sweat production, cold environments can be equally dehydrating through increased respiratory water loss and reduced thirst sensation. Air conditioning and heating systems create dry indoor environments that often require more attention to hydration than outdoor conditions. The real factor isn't temperature. It's your body's response to environmental stress. Adapt your intake to how you feel, not the thermometer reading. Imagine if your morning coffee actually contributed to your daily fluid intake. Instead of working against it, recent research published in major journals shows that for regular coffee drinkers consuming up to 4 cups daily, coffee is just as hydrating as water. The mild diuretic effect of caffeine is offset by the fluid volume consumed. Tea, coffee, and other caffeinated beverages count toward your daily fluid needs. Your espresso habit isn't dehydrating you after all. Here, what actually happens during exercise. Your body can lose 1 to 3 liters of fluid per hour through sweat. But replacement doesn't need to be perfect during the activity. Prehydration matters more than constant sipping, and post-exercise rehydration can be gradual over several hours. Research shows drinking to thirst during exercise maintains performance just as well as following rigid hydration schedules. Elite athletes have moved away from forced hydration protocols for good reason. Match your drinking to your body's demands. Before we dive into the most surprising hydration facts, take a moment to consider how many of these myths you've believed. If this information is changing your perspective on hydration, subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're dismantling health misconceptions every week. Now, remember that skin pinch test from the beginning? Let's discover what it actually reveals about your hydration status and why it might be misleading you. Does aging automatically mean you need to drink more water? The relationship is more complex than most people realize. While older adults have reduced kidney function and diminished thirst sensation, they also have lower muscle mass and different body composition, affecting water needs. The bigger issue isn't age itself, but medications, chronic conditions, mobility limitations that impact fluid intake and regulation. Personalized hydration based on individual health status trumps age-based recommendations every time. Solid foods provide about 20% of your daily fluid intake, but some foods are hydration powerhouses. Watermelon is 92% water, cucumbers are 95%, and even chicken breast is 65% water. This means if you're eating a balanced diet with fruits and vegetables, you're getting significant hydration from meals. Traditional cultures in arid regions have survived for millennia using food-based hydration strategies. Your grandmother's chicken soup wasn't just comfort food. It was functional hydration. Picture your body's electrical system. That's essentially what electrolytes manage: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and chloride. Maintain fluid balance between cells and regulate nerve and muscle function. But here's the twist. Most people get adequate electrolytes from regular food without supplements. Next week, we re-tackling another health myth that is costing people money and peace of mind. The truth about detox diets and whether your liver actually needs help. You'll be shocked by what the science really says about cleansing your body. This content is for educational purposes only and is not professional medical advice. For personalized hydration recommendations, especially if you have health conditions or take medications, consult a qualified healthcare professional.